my fellow felines. This is KittyCatPWYarn here, and welcome to another sweet build. And today we are building another tiny house, because that's what I've been at lately. And I guess that's a lie. This house is old. I built this house in, I think, June or July, and I'm just getting to it now, so I lied to it, I'm sorry. But this house is once again very pink. If you know me at all, you know I really enjoy making pink houses in The Sims. I don't quite know why, because pink isn't my favorite thing in real life, but pink houses in The Sims are my jam. So this house is called Petite in Pink, because it is a tiny house technically. It's the largest of the tiny houses. So I believe it's technically a small house. It's 100 tiles or less. And it's fully functional, but I wanted to make it still be in the tiny house bracket, so you could at least get one or two of the perks from it. You know what I mean? I guess I'll clarify just in case you don't know what I mean. If you don't have tiny living, then you probably don't know about this. Or if you haven't watched any tiny living videos or whatever. But in tiny living you get 3 different tiers of tiny homes, and one is 32 tiles or less. That's the smallest house with the most perks. 64 tiles or less is the next step up with quite a few perks still, but not as many as the smallest house. And then this one, like I said, is 100 tiles or less, and you still get a few perks, but not as many, like if you were to have the tiniest house, if that makes any sense. And I don't know why, but apparently I was losing frames pretty bad here for whatever reason. I recorded this a while ago, like I said, so I don't necessarily remember why, and I don't remember the actual frames dropping, but apparently they did at some point, so there we go. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it's fine for the rest of the video. So the first part we're working on is the kitchen, and the kitchen is very tiny, but if you know me at all, you know I love doing kitchens. I have been called the kitchen master by some. By some, I mean Renee, but I'm not complaining, because getting a compliment from Renee is like getting a compliment from a god. That's all I'm saying, because Renee is great. Um, but this house is very pink. Like I said, it's called Petite in Pink. So all the windows and doors have pink on them. I use the Strangerville ones because I love those to death. And whenever I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a colorful kind of house, and those are the first windows and doors I go for. And a lot of the time I just kind of go for pink because they're easy to place with other things, because you can put them with white and light colors, and it's just easier on me that way. But here we are putting a little couch in the little nook I made. I definitely did that on purpose. I wanted to have one of those couches, and I was going to originally kind of make it look as though that couch was seating for the dining table as well, but then I was like, oh, I have enough room for this, so I'm just going to leave the dining table by itself and have this little kind of seating, reading-ish nook. And I used those chairs in the swatch with the red flowers on them so it could match the seat, and I actually really like how it turned out. I've never used that swatch before. Probably partly because I don't like that wood tone too much, but I thought it fit really well in this house. The floor is kind of a very similar tone as well. And honestly, I don't know what floor that is. I almost want to say it's from Island Living, but I cannot be sure because I don't use Island Living like ever, but I also don't recognize this floor, so that's why I want to say it's Island Living. Though I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below if you either managed to catch it when it was on screen, or if you know just by looking at it. Because if you're like me at all, there are a few things in game where you can be like, oh yeah, that's from this pack. Like the counters, those are from Parenthood. And the little kind of shelf in the corner, that's from Cats and Dogs. And those cookbooks are from fucking Cool Kitchen. Like, I'm weird about that. I know the most random things. And even when I'm watching like other speed builds, someone will be like, "Oh, I think this is from this pack," and I'll be like, "Nope, you're wrong. It's from this pack." And I don't even watch it with people, and I know the people recording it obviously can't hear me, but I need to know, have the satisfaction of knowing that I know where that pack is from, but I don't have any idea where that floor is from, I guess is my point. I believe I built this house. No, I did build this house actually before Nifty Knitting came out. So if you're not seeing any of that stuff and you're curious, because I feel like a lot of it would have fit in really well here. But if you're curious as to why you're not seeing any of that, that's why. Like I said, I built it in like June or July, pretty early in the year. Now we're in a completely different season, still in pretty strict quarantine though, because people can't get their shit together and wear a mask. If you were curious, I am so pro-mask, it is unreal. And if you are anti-mask, just please get off my channel, because I don't want to deal with you. Sorry, that was a little, not political, because masks aren't political, but that was a little, different for me. I don't normally touch on events like this, but it's been going on for so long now that I feel like I have nothing else to talk about. But yeah, we're just working on the little living area now. I use that couch from base game that I like never use, because I feel like it's too traditional for any of the builds I do, because obviously I don't do really modern builds. I kind of tend to do more suburban type builds. But I used this couch and I thought it looked nice. And it fit with the vibe really well, I think. Obviously, the pink doesn't match, like, none of the pinks match, but I think pink is one of those few colors where you can actually get away with that. Like, obviously, there are some colors where you cannot, like black. This is gonna sound wild for a second, just hold out with me here. There are different shades of black, or different tones, I guess, of black. Like, there are more cool tone blacks, there are more brown tone blacks, there are more like blue tone blacks, and there are more like gray blacks. There are so many different colors of black, and like, you can't mix types of black without looking a little crazy. Well, in an outfit, at least, you know? And like I said, I feel like pink is one of those colors where you can actually get away with it, and I feel like there aren't many of those, unless it's like an aesthetic for a room or something like that. I don't know. That was a really strange ramble, but I think it's okay, because that's just kind of what I do. Oh, and I put those little keys by the door. I don't use those too often. I use them occasionally, but not frequently. But I put those little keys by the door, imagining that, like, it was their key to, like, their first apartment, and then their first, like, rental, or, like, their first something, and then, like, their first actual house, or something like that. I don't know. I thought it was cute. Or maybe it was, like, where they keep their keys. I don't know if that's... I don't know. I like the first idea better, honestly. But we're just throwing some stuff in here now. I was gonna make that rug red, to go with the red flowers on it. I get rid of it. I really hope I get rid of it. I'm pretty sure I get rid of it. Because, sure, both of those things are red, but there are different shades of red, and like I said, there are some colors you cannot mix shades of, and red is definitely one of those colors, especially in this situation where you're surrounded by mostly light colors, and then there's just like that big, dark red burgundy circle in the middle. Like, it's bad. So what have you guys been up to? I haven't been up to much. I haven't done a voiceover in like a week or so, because I have videos scheduled out like really far. It's almost embarrassing. So I'm recording this on September 26th, and this isn't gonna go out until October 9th. So it's it's like 2 weeks in advance. And that's just me wanting to cover my ass, honestly, because I actually have a second job interview for the same place on Monday, and I'm thinking I'm going to get it because when he called me asking for a second interview, he told me what hours I would be working and asked like when I would be available to work and all that jazz already. So I am suspicious isn't the word, but I am thinking that I'm going to be getting that job. So essentially what I'm trying to do right now is cover my ass in case I do get that job and need time to adjust to doing YouTube, having a real job, and all that jazz again, because it's definitely going to be an adjustment because I haven't had a quote-unquote real job in a long time. Sure, I was working at that grocery store for a little bit, but it was very strange because, I don't know, in the last like month or two I was working there, I was getting like maybe 3 days a week, and that was like on a good week. Most weeks it was like 2 days a week, maybe one. And I think that was because my manager hated me, but that's completely besides the point. The point I was trying to make there was that I'm probably going to need a little bit of an adjustment period. Not that my old job was awful or anything, but it was. Spoiler alert. But yeah, so we're moved into the bedroom now, and like the rest of the house, it's very pink. And I kept all the walls very neutral because I imagine like this is how that was, and when this person bought the house, they painted the doors, they painted the shutters, and brought in like all of their pink furniture and stuff. Though the kitchen does have pink tiling as the backsplash, and I imagine that was there already because, you know, I mean, older houses sometimes have super weird color backsplashes anyway. I had a friend who lived in a house, and their black backsplash was like this awful, like, it was a teal but with a lot more green, and it was just really bad. But yeah, so old houses sometimes have weird tile colors, so I figured it was fine, and then the bathroom has a little bit of pink tile as well, but like I said, sometimes older houses have weird coloring, so that's why. And I imagine the owner brought their own washer and dryer, and their washer and dryer is pink because they love pink, and everything's gotta be pink. Did you know any people like that in school? Because I definitely did. Oh, so I did cut out landscaping, because it took me a while, even though it's super simple, but it took me a while because I look through debug, and debug always takes me a little bit. Actually, that's a lie. Debug doesn't take me a little bit anymore because I have the Better Built By mod, which is great from Twisted Mexi, but most of the time it takes me a while. So we're just putting a few things in the backyard, not too much, just some like gardening stuff, and a grill, and I think I put a table out already, but I can't see it. Oh no, I didn't put a table, I put a little fire pit. Because I imagine whoever lives here likes entertaining, but they don't necessarily have lots of space for it, and that's okay. I have a friend who loves having people over and having parties, but her apartment is very small, but we make it work. But we are going to be jumping into some screenshots soon, so if you want to download this house, it is on the gallery under the hashtag KittyCatPWY, or my origin ID, which is KittyCatPWYarn. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this build, and I'm gonna go. But I will see you all in the next video. Bye, friends. I hope you guys are having a perfect afternoon, evening, or whatever, wherever you are in your neck of the world. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to become a paw parent because I post new videos all the time. And I will see you all in the next video.